Hi, I'm Jami from the Utah Education Network. Welcome to a new episode of UEN Nearpod News. This month, we're excited to announce a new group for Utah Nearpod users. The Utah Nearpod community held its first virtual meetup this month to kick off what we hope will be a great resource for Utah Nearpod users to learn, collaborate, and share ideas on all things Nearpod. I wanted to welcome everyone to the first Utah Nearpod community meetup. The third highest result from the survey was that 70% of you are interested in a monthly newsletter. So we're going to get on that as well, and you will see a newsletter coming out next week from us. We're hoping to include those tips and tricks videos, some spotlights of other educators across the state, and then just updates on new content or content that we think that will be helpful for you. If you're interested in joining, please go to uen.org/Nearpod and click on the Join the Utah Nearpod Community link. I'd like to share a tip today to help you convert your Google slide decks into Nearpods using the Google Slides add-on. If you're a Google user, this is my favorite way to update presentations that you've already been using to include those Nearpod activities and content that help you really understand how your students are doing. This is also my go-to tool for creating new Nearpods. So the first thing that you need to do is go to your Google Slides. I have opened a presentation that I've already built that I would like to add some Nearpod elements to. And then you'll need to install the Google add-on. So up here in your menu bar, I'm going to click on add-ons, and then I'm going to click here on Get Add-ons. Once I'm in the Google Marketplace, I'm going to search for Nearpod, and it's this Nearpod add-on right here. Nearpod for Google Slides. So I'll click on that, and since mine's already installed, my button says uninstall, but right here is where you'll see a button to install the Nearpod add-on. It's possible that you might need to talk to your district or your Nearpod admin in order to install this. But if you have that install button, go ahead and click on that. And then here under your add-on menu, you'll see the Nearpod add-on. I'll click on Open Nearpod, and on the right-hand side, I will see my Nearpod menu. So right here in my Nearpod menu, I have all of the elements that I would find in Nearpod as if I were creating this lesson in Nearpod. So let's say that the first thing that I want to do is maybe I want to add a poll between slides 1 and 2. So I'll put my cursor right in between those first two slides. I'll come over here to my Nearpod menu and click on Poll. And this should look just like it does when you're in Nearpod. So I'll enter my poll question. I have the same elements that I have if I were in Nearpod. So I can add a timer, I can add some reference material, I can allow students to select multiple answers. When I have my question all set up and ready to go, I click here on Save, and you're going to see this poll question is dropped right into my presentation where my cursor was. So if I wanted to edit this slide, then I can just click here on Edit This Slide. It's got this nice toolbar down here at the bottom that helps me understand how I'm supposed to edit these slides. So I can just click here on Edit This Slide. It's going to open it back up for me, and I'll be able to edit. Okay, let's add a little bit more content. Let's say this time I want to pull some content from the Nearpod library. So I'm going to put my cursor in between slides 4 and 5 where I want to insert that. And then maybe I want a drag and drop activity. So I'll click there on drag and drop. And when this preview window opens, you're going to see the drag and drop library from Nearpod that opened up right here on the side. So I can either create my own, or let's say I want a fractions drag and drop. I'll just search the entire Nearpod library. I can click here on this top one. If I need to modify it, then I can modify the instructions right here. I can make sure that this is the one that I actually want. And then I click here on Save, and it's going to drop this drag and drop right there into my Google Slides. So you have access to the full Nearpod library from within Google. Last thing I want to show you is how you can convert any slide into a draw it activity right here in Google Slides. So let's say this slide right here, 13, I want this to be a draw it activity. Instead of clicking between the slides, I'm going to click directly on the slide. I'm going to come over here to my Nearpod menu. I'm going to click directly on the slide. Then I'm going to come over here and there's this button down here at the bottom that says convert to draw it. So if I want to convert a slide that I've already created to a draw it activity, I'll need to click on this convert to draw it. And then it's going to take this slide as the background image for my draw it and turn it into a draw it activity. So now you can see that it's taken this slide and made it into a draw it. It left my original slide in here. So if I don't want them both and I just want the draw it activity, then I'll need to go up here and delete that original slide. And now this slide is turned into a draw it activity. When I'm ready to launch the Nearpod, I need to actually go into Nearpod. I can't launch it from Google Slides, so I'll click here on the button that says Save and Go to Nearpod. Now, once the Nearpod is saved, you're just going to see it right here in your Nearpod library, and you'll be able to launch it just like you normally would or preview it. If you need to edit this lesson, when you click on Edit, it's going to take you back into Google Slides to make all of your edits. Let's take a quick look at this Nearpod. Okay, so you can see here that here's my Nearpod activity. Here is my poll that I added. If I look down here, I can also find, here's my drag and drop. And we also added that draw it slide. So let's see what that one looks like. Right here, my draw it. And that's how you use the Google add-on for Nearpod. So that's it for this episode of UEN Nearpod News. Thanks for joining.